We think of ourself in a different way than we think of others. Let's say I was late for class twice last week. I explain I stopped to help a little old lady change a flat tire, and the second time the battery in my alarm clock failed. I explain my own behavior in terms of my particular situation. But consider the foreign exchange student in the same class who was late twice this week. I might explain, I guess those people don't think it's important to be on time. We often explain other people's behavior by the people type we think they fit. Well, he is French, for example, or by gender. That's a guy for you. By ethnic background, by race, or by age, as in, kids today just don't value, or political beliefs. Of course, she is liberal. We rarely apply such generalizations to ourselves. In our eating scene, you probably assume Jared used his fingers because that's the obvious way to eat that kind of food. But Arvind was using his fingers because those people eat that way. Grouping people based on incomplete information is human thinking. But that doesn't require us to act unjustly toward them, nor judge their behavior as inferior. Prejudice is a belief based on wrong or incomplete information that members of a group generally share some common features. Oftentimes, prejudice includes hostility toward individuals simply because they belong to the group. Not all prejudices are negative. Some believe that Asians are good at math, that thin people are healthy, that women are typically nurturing, or that Norwegians are tall and blonde.
I've seen it myself. There were some in my college dorm.
It's sad so many people have prejudices. I'm careful. I only believe in facts.
I'm pretty open-minded. I don't think I hold stereotypes. I was taught that was a bad thing.
Yet, we think differently about other people's beliefs than our own. We all hold assumptions about some people types, women or men, rich or poor, foreigners, jocks or geeks, or any of thousands of categories. These beliefs, sometimes called stereotypes, live below our awareness. We all hold some, no matter how open-minded we may be. Stereotypes help us make sense of the world. Seeing individuals in a group as if they were all the same is a mental shortcut. Observing that there are birds on the beach saves mental effort in seeking out the differences. Something like this happens with skin color. For centuries, we've grouped people into races based mainly on skin color: white, yellow, and black. Scientists today dismiss these categories as meaningless, but that does not stop people from using them. We focus on similarities in order to simplify. Those birds look pretty much all alike to us. Part of being intelligent is ignoring information in a smart way. Call it selective ignorance. We ignore a lot that happens around us, so it's not surprising we don't see every individual as unique. It's a useful mental shortcut, but also causes us to group people into types. We do not see the world as things or pieces in disorder. We notice defined shapes and patterns. We seem to have a built-in group maker. Two ways we create groups are based on closeness or similarity. We do this for things, birds, people, everything. For example, most people will see this grouping as a series of columns, not a series of rows. The dots are closer to each other vertically than horizontally, so we see columns instead of rows. If you were one of those dots, the people in your column would be us, while the guys to your right and left would be thems. Right now we see a row of dots, one group. But let's add movement. Now when we add movement, we classify the dots moving in the same direction as a group. We perceive them as sharing a common movement. Your grouping of the dots that move together is much like your earlier grouping of the people who eat like me. It's not surprising that we tend to seek out groups for people as well. It's how our mind works. Another mental habit we all have is to view the world as a fill-in-the-blanks project. We fill in a lot of detail that we don't really see. Call it mental coding. Look through a picket fence and you see an object all chopped up, but you fill in what's missing to see the whole picture in your mind. You do something like this with language as well. You don't read each letter in a word. You don't even need the letters to be in the right order. So grouping people, especially strangers, into people types based on incomplete information comes naturally. It's the way our brain works. Only when we get to know them, gather more data, do people change from people types to individuals. If we associate only with our own kind of people, we never meet them as people. They remain alien, a category, a mental convenience. But merely traveling to or living in a different culture does not guarantee we will refine our people typing. We filter information to fit existing beliefs. If we believe a people type is hardworking or lazy, then we will see those qualities and filter out conflicting images. Psychologists call this confirmation bias. Belief shapes perception. It's not that I'll believe it when I see it, as much as I'll see it when I believe it. One reason colleges seek students with diverse cultural backgrounds and encourage overseas studies is to help break down stereotypes. Going to school in another country can be a life-changing experience. Understanding yourself includes becoming aware of the assumptions you make about people types. Nationality is a powerful category. Millions have died fighting for my nation, yet for most of history, nations didn't exist. Kings ruled over people who recognized a certain royal family, no matter where they lived. Even today, many peoples we identify by nation tend to think of themselves more as members of a specific tribe or religion.